Hey, it's Rob. Welcome to another episode of Wax Wednesday, stuff I picked up. As I told you I would probably start to do, I'm slowing down a little bit. But this weekend I was in St. John. A couple of weekends ago I was in St. John as well. I checked out my old friends at Second Spin. This weekend when I was in St. John, I went to the hallowed halls of Backstreet, now known as Backstreet Taz, the location on Germain Street. Just a heritage stop for vinyl collectors in this province. Gordy Tufts was the longtime owner of it. It has now changed ownerships and it is operated out of Halifax now. Man, it's just a great storefront, a classic looking older building. It just feels good to go in there. Yeah. So what did I find? I only had like a half an hour, so I didn't even get through the whole store. It's that good of a store. But I was drawn to a clearance bin out back, so I had a look in there and found a couple of finds. So let's get to them. First up was this one. Gerry and the Pacemakers, a 1964 mono pressing of I'm the One, the debut album from Gerry and the Pacemakers. Who are they, you say? Well, in 1963, Liverpool, England, Gerry and the Pacemakers, they were at the starting line with the Beatles, the Searchers, who I think have just announced that they will be doing their final show this June after 68 years together as a band. Can you believe that? The Seekers, it was all called that Mersey beat sound, and based out of Liverpool. Gerry and the Pacemakers. There's quite a set of liner notes here. But they seem to be apparently distancing themselves from their fellow Liverpudlians, the Fab Four, because out of all this verbiage on the back, the Beatles are mentioned quietly once, despite the fact that these guys are managed by Brian Epstein, they are produced by George Martin. They did time in those clubs in Hamburg, Germany, to kind of get their chops down. So, that they did a lot of the same things that the Beatles did and worked with a lot of the same people. But I can't say I could blame them. Everybody wants to be their own thing, right? These guys would be no exception. However, this was first released in England in 1963. It came out on these shores in 1964 because, of course, they want to cash in on the excitement that's generated around the Beatles. In February of 1964, the Beatles landed in New York City and changed everything with that one appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. Within 2 months, they had the top 5 slots, the top 5 singles in North America, the top 5 singles. It's not the same as these days when you have, artists that release things online and you click a button and you download a single. When you're walking to the record store and digging into your pockets and walking home with a piece of vinyl, that's a sale. And the Beatles were the biggest thing to hit the musical universe ever. All right. What made these guys a little different from the Beatles? The Beatles probably came off as a little more hip, I think. Both of these artists, under the tutelage of Brian Epstein, were encouraged to write their own material. But early on, they didn't have enough of that original material to fill out a whole full 2 sides of an album. Or if they did, it was probably maybe not everything would be up to snuff. Or anyway, what they both would rely on would be covers. The Beatles, when they did their covers, like it was early stuff, it was like Twist and Shout by the Isleys, Roll Over Beethoven, Chuck Berry, Money, Please Mr. Postman, You Really Got a Hold on Me, classic Motown, things that were really hot at the time. This stuff here, they do Kalijah, which is an old Hank Williams Sr. Song from the early 50s, late 40s. They also cover Summertime, the old classic Porgy and Bess selection. That stuff's not going to appeal to kids like what the Beatles were giving them, and probably that did probably hurt them as far as coming over to and translating those sales to North America, because they never really did that. Okay, Gerry and the Pacemakers. One thing that they did record on this album was "You'll Never Walk Alone," which again is a cover. It's from the musical Carousel. It was first recorded by Frank Sinatra, and it's recorded here. It's a real, like, a hard on your sleeve, epic, emotional piece, which actually has become the theme song of the Liverpool Football Club ever since the mid-'60s. So, and it's been a song that Liverpool has kind of clung to in times of need. I believe there was a stadium collapse in the late '80s that killed quite a few people in Liverpool, and again to kind of soothe the woes of the city. Again, the song kind of made a bit of a triumphant return to kind of pick up spirits a little bit. And anyway, that alone makes this album probably worth owning. But again, it was another cover. Their originals, when you hear it, it'll remind you of 1963, 1964. It sounds like a lot of stuff that the Beatles were doing at the time. But I just think the Beatles were a little cooler. All right, but Gerry and the Pacemakers, not bad at all. And this is in incredible shape. Like it's spotless. No noise when you throw it on. This album is 61 years old, and it's in better shape than most 61-year-olds I know. So Gerry and the Pacemakers, I'm the one. A great little pickup. This will go nice in the collection. And with where it's a clearance bin, you're willing to roll the dice on some things. I grabbed one that I thought was a pretty good deal, an artist that I like an awful lot. Although, again, like Bob Mould last week, maybe someone that I haven't been, up to snuff on their latest catalog in quite some time. I can't remember the last new Elvis Costello record I actually sat down and listened to would have been. It'd be quite a while ago now. But this one came out in 2018. It's called Look Now. It's a 2-album set. It's in great shape. It's Elvis Costello and the Imposters, which is almost the full Attractions band, with the exception of Bruce Thomas on bass. Steve Neve and oh God, Frank, what is his name? Oh, yeah, of course, Pete Thomas behind the drums. But alongside a lot of orchestration on this record. This seems to be Elvis Costello kind of diving into maybe an AM pop kind of inspiration somehow. He's working with some classic artists of that era, some brill-building alumni, like Carole King is a co-write on one of the songs. Burt Bacharach, same thing, a co-write on 2 songs and appears playing piano. But there's a lot of string arrangements on this. It's very grandiose pop music. Don't throw this on expecting to hear another This Year's Model. But This Year's Model, man, that's almost 50 years that way. Like, Elvis, come on, he's in his 70s now. he's not going to do that anymore. He's not that angry young man. But he's still got away with a phrase. He's still a sharp lyricist, still a sharp songwriter. There's less of that kind of cynic sarcasm that he's had in earlier parts of his career. The words are a little sweeter here. This is more of a sentimental kind of a record. It's nice. And I'll say that it's nice. But if you're looking for like classic Elvis Costello and the Attractions, or even like some of his solo material up until maybe 20 years ago, still had that, that I don't know, that pop drive that he was always so good at. This is a little more lush sounding, and he's definitely paying homage to an earlier time in pop music. A lot of grandiose expressions of love on this. And again, lyrically, he's very good. It's just not that Elvis Costello of old, and we wouldn't expect that from him at this point. But again, it was in the half-price bin. This had an $18 price tag on it, so I got it for $9. It's a double album. Definitely worth picking up. So, and it was awesome checking out Backstreet in St. John. I wish Gordy was there, because I always enjoyed running into Gordy, but I wish him well in his retirement as well. So anyway, that's it for Wax Wednesday stuff I picked up, just 2 this week. And remember, home is where your records are. So when you get home tonight, throw one on, and we'll talk to you in 7 days. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.